It's the start of a normal morning at the Griffin household, where things can always get a little weird. Chris wonders what Stewie is doing, and Stewie replies he's writing a birthday card to his friend Gert. Actually, Yogurt. Perhaps this was a humorous mistake. Peter shows up and says the family can get $1 million because he just filed his taxes, but no one in the family cares what he is saying. Lois needs to shave her mustache, but is out of bleach, so she asks Peter to take Stewie to his birthday party. But Peter assigned this job to Meg because she liked bowling. Chris said he wanted to participate because of the toy machine there. Peter believes that it is unnecessary for him to authorize Meg and receive authorization from others in his own house. At the bowling center, Meg, Chris, and Stewie meet Gert and his mother. Gert's mother is helping the children win the bowling match in some mysterious spiritual way. Meg invited her guide, Bruce, to have dinner with her, but Bruce refused because he had quite a few guests today. Peter also appeared there and was bowling so expertly, he thought he was like Fred Flintstone. It's no surprise that Peter always manages to attract attention in unforgettable ways. Meg was also extremely surprised when her father was here. Scene change. Stewie has a dramatic bowling match with William, but he loses because someone stole his lucky dinosaur ramp. After that, a customer came to the bowling center to buy shoes, but she didn't know her foot size, so she needed to measure her feet. Bruce guided her to the other side, where Chris was measuring the customer's size, but the way he measured the size was very strange. Weird, by letting customers go on your stomach, but he also probably knows their size. Next, Peter's friends were sitting drinking beer. Peter wore a lady's dress, posed like Marilyn Monroe, and looked sexy. After the customers left, Meg wanted to help Bruce clean up the bowling center because she thought her family was here and made a mess. Talking to Bruce, she knew he and his boyfriend both wanted children, but of course they couldn't get pregnant. Meg decides to be their surrogate. Meg returned home. She announced to her parents that she would be a surrogate for Bruce and Jeffrey, but Peter and Lois immediately objected, saying the pregnancy would be difficult. But Meg was determined to follow her will because she believed she was 18 years old and could make her own decisions. At the hospital, Meg, Bruce, and Jeffrey were happy that the insemination was successful, but Meg was worried about whether it would hurt or not. That's a question that only Meg could think of in this situation. Back home, Meg was lying on the sofa with Chris and Brian watching TV when Peter arrived and struggled to find a place to sit like a dog. But then the smell of Meg's farts makes Peter run away. That night, as Peter and Lois were getting ready for bed, he decided that pregnancy was bad and difficult. He immediately remembered when Lois was pregnant and was just as uncomfortable. As soon as they both got down, they heard Meg complaining of hunger. Lois was already sleeping, so Peter had to get up and go find food for his daughter. The next morning, while the family was having breakfast, Chris teased Meg, their parents thought. The whole family was having bad days, and Lois wished time could fast forward to when Meg gave birth. And so quickly passed 9 months and 10 days, during which time Peter tried meth and also went to rehab. Meg's water broke and she was about to give birth. At the hospital, Meg gasped to try to give birth. Everyone was waiting to see the child. In a moment while the doctor was rambling, she successfully gave birth to a baby girl. Meg exclaimed how beautiful the baby was. Pretty. Bruce and Jeffrey named their daughter Liza. Judy Barber was happy to have a child, and they also prepared many beautiful things for her. Scene change, the Griffin family is eating together. When Liza cries, Lois complains why Bruce hasn't come to pick her up yet. Brian reassures Lois. He says Lois is the hottest grandma in town. Ha ha, a taunt that Lois is hot-tempered, but Lois still thinks it's true. While waiting for Bruce to pick up Liza, Peter farted continuously to make her laugh. It seemed he was a very good grandfather. The Griffin family has dinner together. Lois is still happy because she is considered a hot grandmother. Peter liked Liza very much and immediately praised her as the cutest child he had ever seen. Bruce and Jeffrey went to pick up Liza and were scolded by Lois for being irresponsible, explaining that Meg didn't want them to pick her up yet. It seems that Meg does not want to leave Liza to her two fathers because Liza gave her a purpose in life. Even so, after a while, Bruce and Jeffrey still had to take the baby back. Even though they didn't know how to raise a child, they thank Meg for helping them have a perfect family. And then, Bruce and Jeffrey demonstrated their unique way of lulling Liza to sleep. Today's episode ends here. This episode is a humorous adventure through the unbelievable situations and unusual characters of the Griffin family. You will definitely have moments of laughter with this episode. Please leave your thoughts below in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more interesting and funny episodes. This episode is a humorous adventure through the unbelievable situations and unusual characters of the Griffin family. From bowling center antics to surprising decisions about pregnancy, Family Guy never disappoints with its boundless humor. Surely you will have moments of laughter with this episode. Please leave your feelings below in the comments section, and don't forget to give me a subscription to watch more interesting and funny episodes.